Lives Matter. You know, because you got Jacob all, you know, type of flavors, you know, all skin complexions. You know, so this ain't about, you know, some damn Black Lives Matter movement or, you know, Black Power movement or anything like that.
35. For I have come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And go ahead.
Now what type of division would cause a man to be at variance with his father? The division that's going to cause that ultimately is this truth. It's talking about that division is going to be between, you know, the prophets and, you know, their own family, because our own families, they're going to persecute us.
Okay. It says, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Right? Your family, we already know when you get into this truth, your family are going to be against you. We learned this way, traditionally. My brother wanted me to come see him, but as he graduated college, my brother's 49 years old, bro. He graduated again, you know, so he wanted me, he got degrees. So he wanted me to come out there. It's kind of pissed that I couldn't come out there, but this is what I was supposed to do right here, man. I couldn't go, he lives 2 hours away. I couldn't do it, man, you know. And I love my brother, but hey, I couldn't do it. But you know what I mean? When you get to sitting down with them, they don't believe the way you believe in the scriptures. They believe that the traditional way, which doesn't make no sense, because that's the way that the world been teaching them, and that's the way that when you say not Gabriel Prophet, Nat Turner, when the preacher was watching him, like you said, the preacher was watching him, right, wanted him to teach, and that's what they've been taught. So being that we learned a tradition, Edomite traditional way, we let our spirits cleave onto that thing. But the Most High got select men that He didn't let hear it. He didn't let us hear that Jesus is for everybody. He didn't let us hear that. He took, as soon as we heard it, He wasn't for every nation. We snapped out of that goddamn that shit we was in, that deep trance we was in. We out of it. The Lord willing, we stay out of this trance, because we seen people fall out and go delusional about this truth, man. Go crazy. Mental disorders and shit. Bipolarism and shit. You know, because they took on doctrines of devils and heeded into it. And that's what your family doing. It's basically a doctrine of the devil to think that Jesus saves, or Yahweh Shai saves, if they believe in the spiritual, the Son as being the Father and the Son, you know, and him being his Son and everything. You know, we know they don't know the name. Go ahead, you got a question?
Yeah, man, I just want to praise Yahweh Shai that y'all out here doing this work in 4 corners of the earth. You know, because our people really needed the ones that really need to wake up, because we know the 2/3 they fucked anyway. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, they fucked anyway, but you know, I came out here, you know, let you know that I appreciate what y'all doing and everything. Keep doing it. I love what y'all do, you know what I'm saying?
Take your hat off when you speak, bro.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, I love, you know, all the teachings and everything. You know, this is really an honor just for me to even be out here.
It's an honor for us to be out here, right? And thanking the Lord that you came out here, because we call, what we're doing now, we're sending a message, we're calling out, this is the message, and the Lord let you hear. And that's the blessing. That's when the angels rejoice when a brother hold on to this truth. And that's when we rejoice for that part, that you stepped out here on this point, and as a man that stood out here in front of these goddamn heathens. And that's showing your faith and believing this, not us. We thinking you through Yahweh Shai and praising the Lord, man. I bet you right now angels jumping. They doing flips next.
Said the name.
He said the name.
Yes, man.
All right. So you know, Barakathan Yahweh Shai for bringing another brother out here. You know.
Another thing too, right quick. You know, I don't know if y'all grew up watching karate flicks. That's always been my passion. Yeah. Like some of the movies, like Kid with the Golden Arm, and y'all remind me of the movie 5 Deadly Villains. Meaning that.
Keep speaking. Oh yeah. So
meaning that nobody will ever come against y'all, because I was watching the Brothers in Chicago of GMS. A professor came up to him and they came out basically whooped his motherfucking ass on a whole bunch of dozens full of things that's in the scriptures that he knew existed, and he spent over probably like maybe over 100,000 or 50,000 grand on basically on bullshit.
By the truth is certainly not, man. We the Most High instilled the word into the spirit of every brother. That's why he quickened them to understand that this thing is real and true. I remember before I stepped in this thing, and I can't vouch a testimony, no testimony for no other brothers. I had a time where about a long time, 20 years, I just asked the Lord, what's the real work? What's the real truth? What is it? And then the Most High gave it to you. He give it to you in His time. You know, and that was a hard prayer. I remember that prayer, man. But that was just a prayer that was given because I guess He put in my spirit to ask, like He put in yours, the brothers. I know they all got different testimonials of how they came into the truth. But that's what we're doing. It's through the spirit of Yahweh Shimon Shai, because what? He chose us from the foundation. Like, can somebody get Jeremiah real quick? 1. I knew thee in the belly.
Yep, got it. This is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. I'm going to start at 4. Then the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou comest forth out of the womb, I sanctify thee, and I ordained thee a prophet.
So what happened? Basically saying he sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet. So this wasn't from us. This is from the Yahweh. You already know that. It's from Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai that we came out here. He ordained us to be prophets. So if we were prophets, ordained prophets at this, spiritually at this point, hopefully, or at that point with Jeremiah, we was always most likely prophets in the Lord, doing the Lord's work. Always. We went off, but still he kept us whole. He kept bringing us back in incarnations. Because we do have to serve our punishment. You know? You got something else?
Yeah, probably see why you see me wearing this. It represents that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is taking over the earth. It goes silver and gold, diamonds, all of it. He's gonna take all of it back.
Yeah.
Okay, it was always his. But he just let him borrow for the time. Because this is his thing. You know what I mean? He just let them borrow their time. Their time that they have is allotted. Excuse me, like it was allotted for them to have their time, so all the nations can't say, well, you didn't do nothing for us, you just gave the children of Israel the whole world immediately. No, He put us through punishment. We sacrificed. He said He made it for our sake, but we have to go through this because we have to learn what not to be like the wicked, how not to be like the wicked. That's the main thing about this thing, not to be like the goddamn wicked, man. And the wicked, and right now we are the wicked. Our people are the wicked. We sin continuously, man.
That's
every day.
Every day, man.
Yeah. And we don't want to
spiritually dead, just gone.
Yeah, zip, zap, and gone out there, and they love it to be so. You know, they love to run a mischief, man. They love having sex with another man's wife and bragging about it.
Yeah.
This is Romans 8:20. It says, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope.
So the Most High had. It was His reasons. He got His reasons that He wanted to be this way. Because what we say to show you how not to be. Right. That's basically what's going to happen to the wicked if they go against His word, His law, statutes, and commandments. And if you notice, Israel followed the other nations to do what they did. But notice how all these nations have fucked up characteristics. They got bad characteristics. Like you got Africans about eating shit, doodles, the worst shit they can do. Chinese
wicked,
people,
man.
Yeah, that's wicked. Chinese people, they eat babies. The shit you see at the Chinese food is not even mild. That's some hidden shit. Because what we eat,
rat, dog, and shit.
That's light compared to what they really eat. That's that's breakfast. That's light. You know, the Edomites they do it all combined. Everything they do it all in one. That's why they the basis out of all. You know, and I'm just saying that people can believe that or not, but they do some of the horrific shit. And all these other nations do that, but the Most High gave us law, statutes, and commandments. And what not to eat. Don't eat pork. Blase, please, this, what not to do. Yeah. Their guidelines is just do as thou wilt type shit. Every nation is basically just like that.
Yeah. This is Daniel's. Just going into what the brother said. He had a lot of other nations to rule, basically to give them their time. The Lord is not unjust, you know, he's balanced. And I'll read these scriptures to bring out hopefully some deeper edification on that. This is Proverbs 11:1. It says, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Now I'm going to go to Daniel chapter 4:17. This is the matter by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of man, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. You know, and that's pretty much what it is. The Lord set up all the nations; they had their time to rule. You know, he's a false balance and an abomination. The Lord allowed the other nations to rule, so they can't say anything, like the brother said. You know,
they can't say that. You can't complain in the kingdom of heaven. That you didn't get, because you ain't gonna be able to complain anyway. Right, the kingdom of heaven. So you can't put a thought in your mind that you didn't serve. You gave Israel the kingdom right off the bat. He did actually. He did, but he let this drama play out because why? He could do what the fuck he want to do. That's one thing he did. But Israel didn't have. We don't have the kingdom as a whole. We're not in the kingdom yet because when we get in the kingdom, you gonna know it. You know, and we especially, of course, you gonna know it. Because you know, right now we're under. They have their foot under our necks, and they twisting it with some cleats on, some golf shoes and shit. With all the metal cleats, and they twisting it, and we stand and we're down right now, and it won't stop until that last trump, man. It's to that last till you see Yahushua come. We under the curses till he come, man. You know, it's lightening up. But we're still heavy on us. This is a big old burden on us because of what we did, you know. And he the only one that could come down and save us because he was the only one to come down perfect. Ain't none of us been perfect. Everybody has sinned. You know. So you look at the whole. You look at us as a whole as a people, and we being as Israelites. But we don't have identity nowhere. We are known across the whole world with no identity. Well, anybody can go back to the land they originate from. Everybody can. Esau, if he said fuck it, I'm gonna go back to Seir. He can go. If we try to go back, they're gonna fight us to keep us out of our own land. We got a so-called seat in the UN, not even represented, but we probably. No, we probably a mass. We have a mass. Our people is the biggest nation on earth. So a whole nation with a whole one. All the rest of the nations are conspiring to keep us under, and there's a reason because of that. Because if we come into our power, those rulers in those other nations, especially Esau, won't be able to rule. They won't be able to get their rulership and keep their power the way they want to. These motherfuckers taking it to the last second. You know, and if they can't make it, what they gonna do? Push that button, try to clear this bitch out. You know, but it ain't gonna. We already know it ain't gonna work like that. They try to nuke us, nuke the whole goddamn world. If they can't make it.
Hey, it reminds me of this cartoon I used to watch back in the day, X-Men, and there's different series of X-Men, but at the very, very last episode of the very, very last season, you know, you had two evil forces, Magneto and Apocalypse. Now they both, you know, was coming up against the X-Men. But they both, you know, end up having their own issue, you know, because they both had their own agenda. But at the end of the day, you know, they were like, man, we gotta, you know, come up against these X-Men. You know, that's our, you know, our mutual enemy. But the whole time, you know, Apocalypse turned on them. You know, so it's just like these other nations. You know, they all confederate against us, even when they got a different agenda. You know, so they plan on, you know, at the end of the day, you know, fighting against each other. And then when Yahushua comes, they got a whole nother issue.
Well, and the scripture says that. The scripture says in 2 Esdras, the 13th chapter, that they'll all be fighting against each other. But then they're going to put aside their differences to try to fight against the Lord.
I mean, Russia and America. So the two opposite polars are going to try to, going to be like, they're going to speak in Russian, well, Russians going to speak English and whatever. And they're going to be like, look, we going to, hey, drop everything. They're going to be fighting, bang, 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 and they're going to look up. And they go in one mind, they're going to know what to do. You know, he's going to be like, yeah. And your house shot going to be like, yeah, I'm ready. You know, yeah, this is what I've been waiting for because that's the day of redemption. And that's when everything is going to be cleared up because The angels gonna be joyful today. It's gonna be so spiritual. It's gonna be just beautiful, man. Just the fleet.